Hey y'all, this is your girl Mika, Mika Divine Spiritual Guidance, here live and to talk about a very important concept, the do's and don'ts of dating. I got inspired to create this video because I was out and about today running errands and decided to grab some lunch at a local Mexican restaurant. And as I was sitting down at the table, I ran across what I thought was someone that was dating on like a first date or something. And it was kind of funny because when you see people on dates, and we go out and eat all the time, right? But when you see people dating, it's kind of fun to watch and fascinating to watch because you kind of get to learn from their mistakes. So I thought I would bring it to the channel to share my thoughts on the topic. Now, first thing, there was this guy and this girl. I'm located, I would say, in a very upper class neighborhood. I had to go to the Apple store today because I dropped my phone and I had some type of glitch or something going on with it. And it pretty much took up my whole day. So to kill time, I went to grab some lunch at this Mexican restaurant. And when I went there, like I say, there was this couple sitting at the bar. They set me at this booth next to the couple. Now the couple, they kind of look um, like a couple that, first of all, don't even look compatible. And when I say compatible, I mean like people that if you guys were in middle school or if you guys were school aged, would you guys look like a match? I would say what would make people compatible is, do you guys really look like you go together? Do you guys look like you guys are of the same type of mindset, same type of goals, same type of vibes? And what I have found with this couple was the guy, he looked very spiffy, very classy dress, had his loafers, had his slacks, had a sweater on, had his hair slicked back. I mean, he had it going on, y'all. The girl, she was classy too, but she was a little bit more casual. She looked like she was probably grown up maybe in a middle class home or maybe even lower upper class, and she just seemed a lot more laid back, more casual. But one thing that I would say, not to say they're not a match, is I was really paying attention to her response. Now, typically on a date, I noticed that a lot of times women, we as women, we tend to say a lot. We tend to run our mouth, say way too much, right? And I always warn clients whenever you're dating someone, it's okay to share, but it's never okay to overshare because the date is supposed to be just kind of like get to know each other, but it's supposed to kind of be like a ping pong match or tennis match. I say something, then they say something back. I bring up an idea or ask a question, they respond and they bring up something. But when I say I feel like this guy was totally oversharing and he was loud, I was hearing all of his conversation and he seemed like he was very much bragging about all the things in corporate America and money and things. And it's just like, okay. Now, me as a bystander, I had no choice but to listen to what he was talking about. And from what I hear, I'm just like, this guy, he's just bragging to this girl, I guess to try to make himself look like he got money. Now, he probably do got money. He doesn't look like he's putting on the front. He looks like he may be corporate, upper class, got it going on, and that's good. But it's one thing to tell people some information about you, and it's another thing to just try to like overpower the date or overpower the conversation. And it's really strange. It was strange to me. And y'all tell me if you have ever had this happen to you. It was strange to me where a guy was doing this. Now, I know a lot of you girlies out there may have done it. You get excited and you want to just tell them everything and tell them the world. And most guys get exhausted and turned off real quick. But it was this guy that was just going on and on. And this girl, you can tell she's super introverted, really quiet. She was, trying to be kind and sweet, but I can tell she was getting irritated. Yeah. So I was just like, man, what is going on? What is going on here? So, what really threw me though, this is what really threw me, was anytime he would try to lean in. And when he would try to lean in, like I can tell like her body language was kind of leaning out. He was missing the hints that she was not feeling it. And then when he would say stuff, he was just going on and on and on and on. You know what she was doing? She was just sitting back looking like, "Oh my gosh, well he just shut up." I think the girl got so stressed out, y'all, that she just started ordering drinks. They had food all on the bar, and then she just started. She had one drink, but once she finished that other drink, I noticed she ordered another drink. He wasn't drinking anything, but he just kept yapping. So, why am I telling this story? Well, I want everybody to be aware that when you guys are actually on dates, it's so important to actually just get to know someone. Treat it like an interview process. Very casual, very friendly, very kind, get to know you, just like, casual. You don't have to tell them all your secrets. You don't have to tell them your whole life story. Just keep it light and try your best to keep the date within under 2 hours. So, next time you guys get together, you have more to talk about. And I'll tell you this, when you go on the date, if you're not feeling the person, you know, it's fair to kind of like, in my opinion, it's fair to just end it. And you could do it in a very respectful way. But I feel like the girl didn't want to hurt the guy's feelings. And I myself have been on a lot of dates, and there's been a couple I've had to walk out on because the guys were being very rude. But I've been on some dates too where it's like this is a good guy, but it's just not my cup of tea. And what I do is I just continue the date, and then maybe then, when I leave, I tell them, it didn't work out. Or I'll say, you know what, I'll go ahead and pay my bill, to not just seem like I'm using the guy, that kind of thing. I just thought it was strange because, like I say, it's usually women that do this. So, this is kind of a lesson to anybody watching that are talkers, that are conversationalists, that are eager to date, that are eager to get to know people. Take your time. Take your time. And also, don't overdress for the date. This dude, you're in a Mexican restaurant, first of all, sir. Why are you dressed up looking like you about to go to a polo match? Like, seriously. It's like just dress according to the date. And I think the girl was dressed according to the date. And he was like really spiffy. And I'm like, mm, what is going on? So it just was a very interesting experience there. I also found, because I was trying to order me a margarita, that some Mexican restaurants, when you order margaritas, they don't have just flavor. See, when you order a when you order a flavor margarita, do not get a margarita with lime and then put flavor on top of it. Just give me a fresh margarita. So I just don't even worry about it. Yeah, don't even worry about it. Yeah, but it was still fun and it was a good experience to just kind of look at that. And I was like, the first thing I thought about with you guys, it was like, I gotta tell, I gotta tell the people on my channel about this because I have recently launched a singles and ready series. Yeah, it's exclusive for the members of the channel. And for those of you that don't know, I am a relationship coach as well as a tarot reader, healer, clairvoyant, and I also do matchmaking as well. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for those that may not have access to the membership yet to just get a little golden nuggets of the do's and don'ts of dating. There's so much more of what you need to be aware of if you really want to find your match. But that's one thing that really stood out to me on that date. There was a lot of red flags there, and I can obviously pick up on her energy. She was very bothered, but she was so pleasant and so kind. But she was like, he even, like, when they're sitting at the bar, you can tell like his foot, he kind of crossed his foot, I mean, crossed his leg to where his knee can kind of touch hers. And literally, when he did that, she kind of scooted back. Like, I'm so nosy, y'all. I was watching this whole date the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it was kind of it was a pleasant train wreck. If she would have made a scene, I'm sure the dude would have probably got his feelings hurt. So she tried to keep it going. She only got 2 words out, literally. He was talking the whole time. The dude was talking the whole time. So the girl maybe only got 2 words out and it was just yes, no, or yeah, I agree, or wow, that's funny. I was just like, when is he going to ask her questions or when is he going to want to get to know her? That's a big red flag. That is a big red flag. Yeah. Yeah. And I think he liked her, but he did the whole dating thing wrong. If I could like coach him and if I can get my hands on him, I would say, listen, listen, man. First, you're going to have to tone down your look. Tone down your look a little bit if you want to date the average girl. If you want to date the average girl and you want to go on an average date, date for the occasion of the date. Sir, you're at a Mexican restaurant and you look like you going to a polo match, or you look like you're going to um a party in the Hamptons. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? And so I would have told him, like, you could dress. I know you're probably got designer this, designer that, but just relax a little bit. And then for her, I would kind of get her to learn on dates to ask more questions. Don't like, I would have told her if he was keeping on with his stories and going on and on and on, talking about a bunch of nothing, stop him and say, hey, so you're not gonna learn anything about me, or and then he'd be like, oh. And he was talking about some weird stuff, y'all. Wall Street, corporate America, the economy, the stock market. This guy looked like he was in his mid 20s, late late 20s, maybe early 30s max. Max 32. And the girl, she was probably in her early 30s. Like, no. She's not trying to hear all that. She's trying to hear like, who are you? Anybody on went on a date recently? Anybody went on a date recently and had somebody that just overpowered the date, meaning they were someone who overshared, or it felt like it was all about them, or you felt like When you would ask them questions, they would revert the questions right back to a story about themselves, like it was always about them. If you've ever had that happen, that's a red flag. My point is with the story, those are red flags. If someone is just putting all the focus on themselves, talking about themselves the whole time, I dated a guy like that. I sure did. I dated a guy like that. And I called him out because I have no filter. I said, you must love to talk. I said, you must love to talk. And believe it or not, I know I love to talk on here. I'm not really a talker. Like, I kind of, when I get around people I'm comfortable with, I talk. But if I'm out and about, I'm just very observant. I'm very observant. So when I said that to him, he kind of stopped and he was like, oh, my bad. I didn't even really ask you a lot of questions, huh? And I said, no. And then I was like, well, what do you want to know about me? He couldn't even really think about what he wanted to know about me. I'm like, okay, that's a red flag. A lot of times those people are a bit self-absorbed, and that is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. What are y'all up to today? I got my phone fixed. Thank goodness. I said if I don't get my phone fixed today, more than likely, whenever I want to go live, I bet my phone's going to start acting up. And I prefer to go vertical because I don't know. I guess the feed does. I guess the YouTube algorithm feed does better. Some of y'all just chilling. Yeah, yeah. Libra's right. Libra here says you talk when you need to and share a point. Correct. That's kind of what it is for me, especially around like if I'm on a date. Let me tell you how my strategy is. And this is a good strategy for most of you guys that are serious about finding out like if somebody's really a good person or not. You want to really listen more than talk. You want to observe their body language, see how they interact, amongst the waiter, the waitress, or the environment, other people. You want to see if they have manners. You want to see, are they invested in getting to know you? Do they get easily agitated and irritated? Are they kind? Those types of things matter. And so if you find yourself on a date with somebody that's like crickets, I've had that type of date too, then what does that tell you? That tells you you're either dealing with someone that's extremely nervous, somebody that is extremely introverted, or someone that's just not really that into you and they just kind of want to get to the point. So then you may have to pry some questions out of them to get them to drop their guard a little bit. And if they don't drop their guard and they don't open up, then that can be a red flag. Something could be wrong. Yeah. Kilo says, yeah, I like to just observe people and let them do more of the talking initially. Yeah, that's important. And, I think that is important. And a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, Kilo, a lot of men do that. But you also, of course, want to ask questions because some women are not as vocal as others. But most, by nature, women do talk more than men. Women do talk more than men. So a lot of times men don't really have to ask questions because a lot of you women make the horrible mistake of telling a man all of your business and you don't even know this guy. You tell him about your past trauma, your past pain. You tell him how many kids you got, what you got going on. You tell him too much. And then you scare the guy off. And then you're like, well, why doesn't he want to date me again? Because you gave him too much too soon. And then you talk about, oh, you want to get married and da-da-da-da. You just do way too much. And a lot of men, they just don't like all that pressure. And they don't like a woman that's comes across very weak and very vulnerable or broken or filled with a lot of trauma and pain. So take it from me, if you are that woman and you have all those qualities and traits, just don't disclose that. Just wait until you really feel comfortable and like you can trust this guy. And then you can kind of start telling that person a little bit more of your deep and darkest secrets, but you should never disclose everything. Libra says, I try to mind my own business because I don't want to be singled out attention, although it's for our benefit and protection. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's for safety as well. You know, we live in a time where a lot of people will not have the best intentions that you have, so you need to make sure that you're safe. And one of those ways to be safe is not tell everybody your business. Some of you in the dating phase, it may be wise to have a bat phone or a date phone, a second line, and not give them your real line if you don't feel comfortable with them getting your number. Dating is not what it used to be. It's a lot of scammers and people out here that will try to use you for the wrong things. So you got to be careful. Libra says, I've talked to people and they literally won't let me talk. Right. See, when you're dealing with somebody like that, I don't feel like that person, those types of people are okay with really genuinely getting to know you. A lot of times those people are just kind of lonely and they just want someone to talk to. And you'll just be kind of come their therapist. And that's kind of what that date I was talking about. I feel like he was kind of just disclosing a lot of things he wanted to share with her. But relationships are not supposed to be for therapy. They're supposed to be for love. And you said if I don't say something, they look like they can't wait for me to stop. Okay, so they go back to them. Yeah, that's a red flag. I would call him out like I did that guy. I said, listen, what's wrong with you? I was like, dude, what's wrong with you? You don't want to know nothing about me. And I do it because I'm sarcastic and goofy. I'll say stuff to make, the guy laugh. But I'm serious. I'm just like, come on now. Yeah, the dating world is crazy though. And there are predators. So ladies, be very safe, like first date, do not let people go to your home, don't go to their home, meet them in a public location. You drive your car, they drive their car. Don't, keep yourself safe. Make sure you let someone know where you're going just in case some stuff pop off. Make sure the location you're going to is a safe location. If you really feel scary, I recommend you go on like a brunch date or a lunch date instead of dinner. If you're like scared at night because you can't see or be in a vigilant area. Um, I also recommend on the first date, you may want to do something very simple. Like it don't have to be a dinner. It can just be a meet and greet, especially if you're dating online, which that's a whole nother set of rules. But if you meet someone online for the first time, I recommend before you meet them, you do FaceTime or you do a video call so you can make sure that you're not being catfished. And also, you know, feel their energy, check their vibe on the video call. And then from there, after getting to know them for a while, then you can meet them in person. And when you meet them in person, keep it casual and light, no pressure, nothing big. You don't have to go to no five-star dining experience. It's just genuine conversation and getting to know them. That's it. Very simple. And there's no pressure on the guy to spend a lot of money. They know you're being authentic, that you just want love. You just want to connect and get to know them. A lot of women make the mistake of, oh, let's go do something extravagant. And the guy ends up spending, upwards of 100 or more dollars. You don't end up liking him. And then they end up feeling some kind of way, which if I was a guy, I would feel the same way too. Like, I didn't spend all this money on you, girl, and you don't even like me. So light and casual is key and build from there. Kilo says exactly, I know I can be consistent, communicative, and forthcoming with information. So I almost have to restrain myself. Yeah, me too. You guys know I love to talk. But the funny thing is, when I'm around a man, because I'm an Aquarius, I get really weird. As an Aquarius woman, Aquarius women, we just get really awkward and we don't say much. We just be like, okay, what do I do now? I know what to do, but I just try to be cool. Especially if I like you, I just get like, yeah. And I just listen, really. I just get observant. And I think as women, that is appreciated by a man for you to just be quiet. Hush. Don't say nothing. Let the man speak. Let him finish his thought, and then you respond. And show gratitude, ladies, and be kind. If a guy comes to you and they say, "Hey, beautiful, how you doing?" and they look horrible, don't be like, "Ugh, don't be talking to me." No, all that. Who you talking to? Don't do that. Don't do that, ma'am. Don't do that, ma'ams. Just simply say, "Well, thank you so much." And then just turn away. And then if they still pursue, say, "I'm sorry. I'm not interested, but thank you so much. And you have a blessed day." And keep it very feminine and very kind. When you start operating out of this, I call it ghetto, toxic, low vibrational way, it's not cute. And I get it, you don't like the guy, but it took a lot of courage for that guy to come and say something to you because a lot of men, have lost the art of speaking to a woman. But just say something, or smile, all that stuff. It's about respect. That's what I'm getting to. I'm getting to the respect. The bottom line is respect. And if you don't respect other people, then how are you going to expect someone to respect you? And that's all it is. The dating game is all about respect. Even when it comes to the dates, ladies, be respectful. Don't expect this man to spend all this money on you and you're not really into him. That's disrespectful. That ain't it. Yes. Say thank you. I appreciate. Thank you for a good evening. Thank you for opening the door, whatever. Or you have a beautiful smile. Well, thank you. That's feminine energy. You know, that's feminine energy. The feminine energy is to receive, and men, they love to um, pursue. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Looks like the trolls kind of died down a little bit. I'm gonna be back on at 8:30, y'all. Doing an all signs reading tonight. I just needed to chill for a second. Decompress and chill. And then tomorrow I'm going to add more episodes to my Single and Ready series. If you're interested in getting some more information about the series, all you got to do is click on the link in the pinned comment. Let's see if I can get it on this laptop here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Every now and then I'll do these like little random videos of advice and stuff. Okay, there it is. So if you want to check it out, that's how you do it. It's really good. It's really good. I put a lot of time and effort and energy. It's a 16 episode series on those who are single and want to learn the ins and outs of dating. And it goes very, very detailed from somebody who is a certified relationship matchmaker coach and someone who's been in the dating game for years. I've been married Um, and I'm single by choice. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. So yeah, I just thought that was something. There was another date that I saw when I was with one of my friends. Me and her, we went to a restaurant together, and there was this young couple. They looked like they were in their 20s. And one of the biggest issues people do is all on their phones the whole date. Get off of your phones. Do not be on your phones during the date. That's crazy. Why would you be on your phone the whole date? That's crazy. But people do it. People do it. But they were young. I get the younger generation, they like to get on their phones and play around and stuff. But if you're on a date, mm-mm, have that phone away and be engaged. Look that person in their eyes and just enjoy the moment and their company and talking to each other and stuff. Oh, man. All right. So, by show of emojis, how many of you guys had a great date? Anybody went on a date recently? If it was a good date, show me a thumbs up. Your recent date. If it was a bad date, show me a thumbs down. And if any of you guys want to disclose what made it a bad date, let's talk about it real quick. Oh my gosh, I'm telling y'all that was really awkward. I felt awkward for the girl. I was just like, "Girl, you want me to come over there and save you from this guy?" Oh my gosh. That was wild. That was crazy. No dates. I went on a date last weekend. It was thumbs down. He was too controlling. I can tell red flags of control. He definitely had an agenda of how he wanted things to be and this and that. And no, you're probably an abusive guy. So, no. Someone asked, what's your advice for someone who is chronically single? I date, but nothing goes past second or third date. Your 43-year-old female. All right. So, what you're experiencing is something going on with your your matches. So it would be a conversation you and I would have to have as to what's not clicking. The first thing I would say is this. Do you know specifically what are your standards, preferences, and do you know which people you're actually compatible with? If you want to know if you found somebody that's really your match, before you even go on that first date, you got to know what your standards are, meaning your top five, your big five, what you're not moving on. Hard boundaries. What are your preferences? What are the things that I would really love a guy to be this, or I would really love a girl to be that? But if they're not this, I can still date them as long as they meet my standards. And then, am I dating out of my league? Am I somebody that's a solid 7 and dating somebody that's a 10? Am I somebody that's not what society would put in a category as the most attractive thing going? And the standard that I have is for something that's way out of my league, those types of things. Also, it could be the type of ways you're matching. So dating apps are full of a lot of toxic people and narcissists. So if you're only utilizing one source of trying to date someone, then that means you're limiting your options because you're going into a database full of a lot of toxic people versus you needing to get out of the house and socialize more and be seen. You also need to make sure you look the part. You look the part, you got yourself together. You are, if you're a woman, I don't know if you're a woman. If you're a woman, ladies, I hate to say this, but men, they're visual. You have to look attractive. Physically, I hate to say it, you got to have yourself together. You can't be looking sloppy. You can't be looking like a thought. You can't be looking homeless. You can't be looking raggedy. If you're out and about and you're single and you're trying to find somebody, you need to make sure you look single and ready. Same thing, fellas, because we are what we attract. So if you want to attract a decent looking guy, you need to be looking like a decent looking girl. But if you're dressed like you're for the streets or you dress like you don't give a damn, that's what you're going to attract. Also, mindset. And this goes back to before you even date, you got to know your standards and your preferences. So if your mind isn't ready and you're going into dating blindly and you have no idea where you're going to keep hitting a dead wall. Because within the first few seconds, you should be able to kind of know like, oh yeah, this is some BS. This person ain't even, they're not what I want at all. You shouldn't get on the dating phase with anybody until you know for a fact they're at least lukewarm or warm to being what it is you want. But to be chronically single, to answer your question, it could be a lot of factors. So if that kind of helps you navigate some things that you may want to look at to kind of help you um, fix that, then that's what you would have to do. But it's just trial and error. And you need to dress cute. I hate to say it. You got to dress cute, dress what you're trying to attract. Um, Go to environments of the people you're trying to attract. So, for example, if you are really into business like men, then you need to go to environments where you'll find business like men. Don't be up in the hood trying to find your husband. That ain't gonna work now. You know, if you're a fella and you want a classy woman, you can't find no classy woman up in the club. She's not gonna be in the club. Okay, you're gonna find a bunch of thoughts. You're gonna find a bunch of women that's hot and ready to be down for whatever. All right. Keisha says, Mika, I was speaking to a friend of mine and I had to confess that I don't know how to date because I've always been in a serious relationship. You know, the rules of dating has changed. They really have. You know, if you are somebody that's like me, when I was in my marriage, I was in my marriage for 15 years. And when I got back to the dating scene, everything has totally changed. And through my experiment, what I've learned is that before I even go out and date, I have to know what it is I actually want. I got to really think about that and really have a plan in place of what I'm trying to manifest or pray for. And that's going to be what you're looking for. When you actually go out there and you look for it blindly, you're going to get blind results. So that's why you got to go out there and look for it or make yourself available for it with intention. Be very intentional. So chronically, somebody asked, well, what is chronically single? Chronically single, from that person's post, they're talking about they've been single for a very long time. Yeah, chronically single means single for a very long time, which I tell people on this channel all the time, being single is not a curse. Um, Sometimes we need to be single in order to heal and in order to evolve and figure out what we want. Because if you bring someone into your energy and you start harnessing a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of lack of trust, and you haven't got to a place of feeling like you can open yourself to give love and receive love, meaning if you're emotionally cold and closed off, then you're going to fail. You're going to fail. So there's a lot of work that has to be done before you even go on that first date, which in my series, I talk about all that. I talk about all that. And I'll tell you this too. One of the biggest mistakes that I know I made early on, dating and stuff, is thinking that because I wanted one thing, the other person wanted the same thing too. You can't assume, in other words. So you always have to lead with getting information and accept it for what it is. So if a person tells you, ladies or fellas, if a lady or a guy tells you, listen, I'm just going with the flow, or I don't know what I want, they have just basically told you they're not seriously dating. They're just out here having fun. If someone says, you know, I recently just got over a breakup or a relationship, they're basically saying they're not ready to date. And I'm sure you're asking, well, why are they wasting my time? To them, they're not wasting their time. To them, they're just coming in for a fun time, not a long time, which is why some of you guys may be on those shortly lived toxic relationships, because those are the type of people that you may have attracted in the past. The people that are serious, you're going to know they're serious. They're going to tell you in the beginning they are. They're going to show up and be consistent with their actions. They're going to really prove to you without even you begging them to show you that they are. And someone that's genuinely into you, just as much as you pour into someone because you're really into them, they're going to do that too. You don't have to ask anybody to do something they don't want to do. They just will do it. Nobody asked you to do all those things you did for your ex, right, collective? You just did it because you really wanted that person. So someone that really wants you will do that, but someone wasting your time will not. As simple as that. Keisha says, a lot of your readings this week really resonated with my current situation, that I have to be able to heal and forgive. So that kind of where I'm at right now. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're taking the messages and using it as a form of therapy and support and clarity of like the work ahead, because that's what I'm hoping. That's my mission now of this channel, is to uplift the collective and get people where they need to be, spiritually. Because once we vibe higher, nothing can touch us. Once you move at a level of peace and clarity and self-respect and dignity, people can't even spend a second in your space without being shunned away, you know? Hey, Cassandra. So yeah, it's a journey. And I will tell you this, single and ready people. A lot of people don't want to get married. A lot of people, if you're middle aged, like if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, a lot of people don't want to settle down. All right. Why? Because we live in a microwave society. I was having a conversation with a friend about this, where there's a lot of people who truly and honestly would prefer just a superficial connection that feels like a relationship without the commitment. And some of you guys are falling for it. You'll let these people move into your home, you'll take care of them, you'll do all the things as if they're your husband or your wife, but they don't give you no commitment. Some of y'all, they don't even call you a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They're not even monogamously committed to you, but you're giving them the world. Why? Why? Does a worker go to work and just get money for free, or do they actually earn their paycheck? They earn it. So when you in a relationship, you got to put in the work to earn those special parts of you. Your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your secrets, your time, your energy, your resources. That has to be earned, and it's not freely given, because I think he's cute. I think she's sexy, fellas. And if we step away from that as a collective, in my opinion, the world will go back to the way it was intended to be, where people were actually trying to get to know people first, build, create families, procreate. People don't want to have kids no more. All of that is being affected. So it's something. It's definitely something. So I'm about to get off, y'all, and rest up just a little bit before I go live in a little bit. Thank you so much. Somebody says, you're so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. Honey, I've been through it today. I had to go to the Apple store. Then I went to that restaurant and I was sharing the story about the little couple on their first date that I saw. Um, so I'm looking rough. But I'll touch myself up before I go live later. Because y'all can probably see all my flaws and all, and oily skin. What time am I going live? In about an hour, just about an hour from now. I'll be live at 8:30. It's 7:30 Central Standard Time here. So an hour from now, 60 minutes from now, I'll be live doing the all signs read. I haven't done an all signs in a long time. My eyebrows look good, girl. Yes. I went into Sephora today. Yes. I went into Sephora and I tried this stuff. It was like, when you're in Sephora, ladies, when you're in like the makeup store and you be trying stuff. So I got to play in a little bit of makeup and I was like, ooh, this is cute. And then I saw that price and I said, well, it's going to stay right there. It ain't that cute. Heck no, I didn't pay. What was that thing? That thing was like $27 for this eyebrow. I said, the devil is a lie. Let me go ahead and get me that Sephora brand. I think I got to end up getting the Sephora brand for $15. It still was high. Yeah, I spent about $150 in Sephora today. I said, what the hell? What the hell, auntie? What the hell, auntie? Heliante, Heliante. I'm getting old, y'all. Y'all know what I'm saying. But I bought some. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. And this is a part of it, single and ready. All my ladies out there, y'all gotta get with it. And I'm the example. Because when I go live, I get cute. And I tell you guys are my date. So you guys are my Saturday night date. And y'all think I'm lying. I'm getting cute for y'all. And so y'all need to get on it. Put your makeup on. If you don't know how to do makeup, get you a YouTube video and learn how to have a natural look, ladies. Natural beat. Natural beat. If you get a little hair, you want it to look natural. If you get a little nip tuck, you want it to be natural. You don't want to look like a Barbie doll. You don't want to look like a clown. Men want natural, ladies. They love a natural woman. So you're going to accentuate the natural beauty. Now my lips. Y'all see that? I end up getting like a lip stain because I have some pigment issues with my lips. And so why? To give my lip a natural color. I know, Cassandra, I work hard, but I'm frugal as hell. I even went to a co-assignment store, y'all. I went to a co-assignment store and got me some sneakers for $25. Y'all, I'm cheap. I can have thousands of dollars, and I do. I have money in the bank, but I don't spend it. I don't. I hate spending it. I'd be like, I was in the Apple store, and I ended up spending, was it $29 to get my screen repaired? I'm like, $29. I'm so cheap, y'all. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But I'll tell you what I'll spend some money on. I love to spend money on food. I was up in the Mexican restaurant, y'all, and I ended up spending like, I got me that queso dip with some chorizo. I ordered me a margarita, but they messed it up, so they sent it back and they took that off my tab. I ordered. Oh, I'm not a Taurus. I do have some Taurus placements, but no, I'm an Aquarius. Um, let's see what else. I got me some fajitas, some steak fajitas. Oh yeah, it was up and popping. It was up and popping. But yeah, I'm Aquarius. Aqua gang. Where you get Taurus from? Because I like to eat. Everybody know Taurus love to eat. Taurus love to eat. Taurus love to shop. Taurus love to be the fashionistas of the zodiac. That is true. But what you don't know, fun fact, I think all Aquariuses like to eat too. Aquarius, y'all like to eat? Aqua gang, where you at? Aqua gang. In this thing, y'all like to eat? Shoot, I will drop some money on some food, some good food. Ha! What? I was sitting there at that table full of food, knowing I can't eat it all. Having a ball, y'all. The time I had on my own little date by myself at the table. And there was this fine brother over there at the bar. I know he saw me. I know he saw me. I said, I'm gonna act like I got some sense because I'm not even that cute today. But if I was cute, baby, I would have got up. I would have leaned across that bar and said, excuse me, excuse me. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I would have actually bumped into him and said, I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, what are you drinking? And then start of a conversation. Hey, oh my gosh, she has such a handsome smile. Thirst trap. Literally, because I'll be thirsty. I want something to drink. Yeah, he was cute. But he was like, when I came in, yeah, I'm a smooth criminal. I'll be like, bloop. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, what are you drinking? Listen, y'all. Y'all getting putting y'all on game. If you see a cute guy, because it's not ladylike to approach a guy, but you gotta, come on now. These guys be scary, so you gotta come up with tactics. If you see a cute guy at the bar, just go up to the bar and you can just order a cup of water. And you try to get the waiter's attention, excuse me, and you sit next to him, you actually bump into, oh, I'm sorry, and see if he gonna check you out. See if he gonna check you out, look you up and down, make eye contact and stare at you. If he does, be like, hey, just look. And if you guys make eye contact and just stare at each other, I'm sorry, and then turn away. I'm just playing. I'm such an Aquarius. I'm, weird. I do some awkward stuff. Try this. For those that don't know, I'm 5'2.5". So if I'm in a store and I see a cute guy on the aisle, you know what I'll do? I'll act like I need something off the top shelf. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, yes. Can you help me? Yeah, I need to get that off the top shelf. And then he gets it off the top shelf and hands it to you. Thank you so much, man. And you start up a conversation. What you got over there? You cooking? What you cooking? And you start up a conversation. Smooth. Smooth. Fellas, same thing. Well, fellas is easy because, men can pursue. If I was a dude, I'll be talking to women all day long. And if I was single, I'll see a beautiful lady and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so. What's your name? Are you married? Okay, all right. Well, I couldn't help but notice your beautiful smile. I couldn't help but notice you as you were, standing over there. Fellas, I'm putting you on game. Do you know if the girl thinks you're attractive, you're gonna make her melt? She's gonna be like, oh my gosh. That she'll be melting on the inside. Like, oh my gosh, like he's really trying to hit on me, girl. He's trying to hit on me, girl. Yep. Kilo says guys always approach me by using my tattoos as a segue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to use something as a segue. That's it. That's game, game, game. Come on now. It could be a tattoo. It can be hair. It can be in the supermarket. I need you to get that off the top shelf. Look in their basket. Oh my gosh, is that is that light mayo? I've never heard of that. Who knew they have light mayo? Can I see that real quick? And you look at it like you care. Oh wow, this is great. Are you gonna? Where did you find this? Start up a conversation. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Y'all know the people when you're out and about in public and they just like randomly come up and start talking to you, or they're just randomly friendly and upbeat and smile. Like, you don't have to be like that because I'm not that person by no means. But you just need to be like pleasant. Hi. If you're scared, then I don't know what to tell you, boo. You're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. That's the only way. You got to get out of your comfort zone. I be scared too. I was scared today. I told y'all I could have got up. I could have reached this is what stopped me. I'm gonna tell you the truth, what stopped me, because I didn't know it was a questionable moment. He was at the bar and he had two ladies sitting beside him. There was this beautiful, attractive Hispanic woman sitting to him on the left, and there was this mm, probably a solid, fellas, it was probably a solid 5 or 6 woman on his right. So I was like, I don't know if he's with any of these ladies, but he's sure looking good over there. Hmm. So let me just observe it and let me just see what's going on for a second. So I'm just eating, looking. He's just drinking at the bar. He's not talking to any of the ladies. The Hispanic lady gets up and she walks and leaves. The black lady, she's on her phone. She has her phone propped up at the bar and eating a big old plate of food and just watching whatever, but he's not acknowledging her. They're not talking. And I'm like, man, I bet he's alone. I bet he's alone. I bet he's alone. But I didn't do nothing. I just looked. I'm just like, Inspector Ratchet. Be normal. Be normal. be, be normal. Don't be awkward. So I didn't get up, but I thought about it. And then he looked back at me and I turned like that. You know, one thing about Aquarius, when Aquarius likes somebody, we act like we don't like you. I know that's really awkward and really weird, but we just freaking weird. We're freaking weird. So when he looked, I was like, oh my gosh, he looked. But then he looked away and I was like, oh. I was hoping he was going to say, smile. Now, if he would have smiled at me or like did this, like waved at me or something, or if he kind of gave me that, I want to eat you upstairs, then I would have been like, okay, all right, I'm about to get up. About to get up. But then, of course, after he looked, he took one more sip of his drink and he walked out the door. Rats. Rats. It's okay. So, yeah, I really wasn't in the mood, y'all. I wasn't cute. Look at me. This is what I had on. I had my Biggie Small shirt on. To all the ladies with style and grace. To all the ladies in the place with style and grace. I had that with some leggings on and some tennis shoes. That wasn't cute. And I had already gone to Sephora. I had my eyebrows looking cute, but I was all oily. I was like, man, he's all dressed up. He looks really nice, really sharp. That's not going to work. Forget it. Forget it. You know, that's what I'll be trying to tell people, Butterfly. Like, ladies don't understand. Like, they like a natural woman. So, ladies don't understand that you need to just be as natural as possible. That's what they want. They don't want you to be artificial. And a lot of women, like, we love to be artificial. We love to put weave on. We love to put wigs on. We love our nails. We love our lashes. We love a bunch of makeup. We love to have our boobs out. We love to get BBLs, plastic surgery procedure. We love it. And men can care less about all that. They just want a woman that's natural, that looks decent. They want your average, everyday looking chick. For real. And I know that's for a fact because I have dated a lot of different men and I've talked to a lot of different players. I'm going to just say that are in my family. So I know the game very well. I know how it go. You motivated me to finally set up my annual eyebrow touch-up appointment, girl. Girl, I have no eyebrows left. So I went into Sephora and I was like, "Excuse me." I went to the gay guy because I just love the gays in Sephora. I was like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Do y'all have any tint for my eye?" And he was like, "Honey, I ain't got no tint, but we got this." And he took me to it's Anastasia. For those that want to know, it's the Anastasia brow. It's like a wand gel thing you put on your brows and you brush it out. And he just opened it and he put it on there. Doot, 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 doot. And he did both of them. But if I don't have that, I have no eyebrows left. I have no eyebrows. See, y'all can see my moles now. Y'all see my moles? I got some of those removed, but I still got moles. So fun fact, I got a lot of moles. Y'all don't see it on camera because I be wearing my makeup. I got boogers. Oh, I got it all. And I got my eyelashes done. And I don't really but I've started wearing them. But they look good. But after I get this set taken out, I'm gonna just do my own. Cause these look okay. Look all right. All right, y'all. Oh, okay. You like the anesthesia? That thing was like $25. Why is it so high? Anastasia trying to get me for my paper. How? Sway for eyebrows. And he was like, I'm just tell you right now, it's gonna last. Man, I put that stuff right back on the shelf. And I don't mind spending some money on my makeup because, I like to wear makeup. So I don't mind, but I'm not, when I can find a cheaper alternative. So yeah, if I can go, if I can go to TJ Maxx and I can find it there, I'm getting it. Because TJ Maxx gonna have it for like half off. Oh, okay, your eyebrows are permanent. Okay. NYX, I think I've had. Let me go see. Y'all come with me and be nosy. Look at my makeup stash. I had somebody's brow gel thing that's like Anastasia's, but it wasn't that brand. It was a cheaper brand. Let's see. See what brand this was. Oh, y'all can see all my imperfections now. Now this is my favorite concealer. I love Fenty Beauty. I'll spend some money on some Fenty. And this is my primer that I use. Double wear. But I didn't put any primer on today, but that's the primer I use. This is the press foundation powder I use, my MAC Studio Fix. Anybody use Studio Fix? Powder foundation. And then if I'm going on camera and I really want to like make it like a little bit heavier, then I go to the drugstore brand. And booyah, y'all, this right here is the truth. We love some Maybelline, don't we? Because Maybelline is cheap, but Maybelline is nice. That's what I use. So yeah, this is highly recommendable if you want like a liquid. Oh, and this is what I use for contouring. I use Tarte. And this is a bronzer, actually, I think. I think this is a bronzer. So whenever y'all see my makeup and it be looking, it looks cute, it's because y'all don't judge me because my light went out. But this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. And then, of course, Maybelline for my blush. We love a Maybelline, don't we? And then my loose powder is Tarte. And that's what I use under my eyes. I see, you notice, y'all, I got oily skin. Y'all see me shining bright like a diamond. Y'all see that? Bright like a diamond. Shining bright like a diamond, baby. Fashion Fair. I know Fashion Fair. I'm not a fan of Fashion Fair. This is another Maybelline. This is what I love to use on my lips. This is a new lipstick series from Maybelline. Y'all seen these? So whenever I have like a natural color. Now this is a lip stain that I got today. Y'all, I'm looking rough. Woo, baby. Woo, I'm looking rough, up close and personal. It is a pretty color. Now, this is not on my lips now. This is not on my lips now because I ran out. But it's similar, but it's not the same thing. Shine bright like a diamond. Honey, I do not look good. The lies you tell. Look at these edges, honey. Look at these edges. Woo, the motherland, baby, the motherland. Ah! The motherland is coming through. Okay, the reason why I came up in here. Oh, okay. No, I got this from the hood. I got this from the hood hair store. So this is a nobody brand. It's from the hood hair store, y'all. You know, when you go in the hood and you get some, where they got weaves, wigs, quick weaves. So yeah, this is the brow stuff that I bought from the hood hair store that did not really work. It wasn't hitting like Anastasia's hitting. Plus it's brown. I shouldn't have got a brown. I should have got more of like a black. Like even putting it on now, you see how it's like a brown? The ghetto, baby. The ghetto, the ghetto. Ooh, the ghetto, the ghetto. I need to put it in the trash. The ghetto, the ghetto. The ghetto. I learned my lesson. I ain't buying that mess again. We love some Mary Kay. That's what I use for my moisturizer. And that's pretty much most of my, like, when people talk about my makeup, that's most of, like, what I use. And then I just use your NYX, different liners. So somebody talked about NYX. I love an NYX brand for just, like, stuff that don't really matter. Like lipsticks, liners, things like that. Thank you so much. Louis says, you're very great feature, very pretty. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm not feeling pretty, but I'm going to get pretty in a second because I got to go live with y'all. Do this all signs reading. All right, so this is what I spent 100. I'm gonna show y'all. What do they call it? Hauls. So this is my Sephora haul. Y'all want to see my Sephora haul? Oh boy. Okay. I got this. Makeup Forever. This is supposed to help with shine. My 150 Sephora haul. They got all my coin today, y'all. I got that. This. Have y'all tried this? Libra or Libre. It smells good. I'm more of a like a fruity. I like more fruity smells. But this has more of a floral. But it's Louis Vuitton. You see what size I got. I told y'all I'm frugal. I ain't about to get the $200 bottle. They got me messed up. I'm not going to pay $200 when I can get this for like $36. Not doing it. All right, what else? All right, I got that. What else did I get? Sephora got me for my paper, y'all. All right, we also got the Tarte. That's what you guys saw. I just got a re-up of the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder. I use that for my, like whenever I put my concealer under my eyes. I guess you would call it your highlights, makeup artist. What do y'all call it? When you put it right here, right here, right here, right here. That's what I use for this. And then my other areas, I use the MAC. Hold on, I need to turn the light on, y'all, because I'm not about to lose any of this stuff. All right. Okay, you said a perfume from Target. I have to try it. I'm not a big perfume person, but I got to have something when I go on a date. I feel like I was missing that whenever I go on my dates recently. I'm like, I feel like I need like a perfume or something. This is the color stain that I'm wearing now. This is Huda Beauty, Huda, 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 Huda. What is it, y'all? Huda Beauty. I think it's called Huda Beauty. Is that right? I think it's Huda Beauty. All right, so this is what it looks like. This thing is expensive. It was like $25. They got me for my paper. Huda Beauty. And it's like a, how am I going to do this? But this is what it looks like that. It's backwards. Okay. How about like this? And then you just put it on. And it stains. It's like a lip stain. Okay. And so when y'all see me go live, it's supposed to stain your lips and give it kind of like a... So this, if you want to know, I feel like I'm a makeup guru now. I'm really not, y'all. I was in Sephora trying all kind of stuff. But it is a pretty... It's very pretty. That's what I love about it. And it doesn't rub off. See? My lips are dry as hell, but... So when I'm blowing kisses at y'all, it doesn't come off. My lips look horrible, though, so ignore that. I'm a horrible makeup person. All right. This is Rosewood. I don't see how these makeup people do it. I can't do it. This is Rosewood. Who that beauty? Who that beauty? The Saints, who that beauty? I think it's a new product. So my goal is like, say if I'm in a rush And I don't got time because what I usually do, because my lips are kind of discolored a little bit, if I don't have time to do my liner with my lips and all that other stuff, I'm going to get my Who Dat Beauty and I'm going to just tint it up, tint it up, or tat it up, rub, mwah, mwah, mwah. And she ready. No sense. Okay, so that they got me for that. What else Sephora got me for? All right, so this is the alternative because I was about to pay for Anastasia. So I got this. Yeah, the Sephora brand for my brows. So, yep. So that's what it is. Yep. Why y'all keep saying I have lovely features? What is that? You saying I have lovely features, but my hair look nappy right now. Then I have all these little moles. But it's natural beauty, I guess. Y'all get to see me up close and personal without my glam. Okay. So that's what I have, y'all. All right, so let me get off this so I can get ready to go live. I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. I hope you guys will join me for my all signs reading tonight. Somebody asked what to say if you've never been in a long-term relationship and a guy asks you. I find that turns men off. Yeah, that is a turn off. And the reason why it's a turn off because they want to know like what's wrong with you. You know, in a guy's eyes, if you've never been in a marriage or long-term committed relationship, what's wrong with you? Something wrong with you in their mind. Not to say something is wrong with you, but that's what they feel. So when they ask you, you can just say, you know, I've been dating and I just haven't found my person yet, and leave it at that. I haven't found my match. Or you can deflect it and say, I was just, most of my life, I've been focusing on my career, other things, you know, just putting focus in other areas of my life. And dating has not really been a forefront of, you know, what I'm actually wanting to pursue until now. I would say something like that. But I would never disclose all the details as, oh, I've been chronologically single. I haven't really found anybody. I wouldn't get into that. I would just keep it straight to the point and say stuff like, like that. All right. Let me get off this thing, y'all. Let me get ready. I'll be live in about 30 minutes. I'll see you there.